Good afternoon, folks. Today I'd like to show you how I build my tomato trellises. I also would like to explain the difference between tomato cages and tomato trellises and give a little explanation of when you should use each. Let's get started. These are commercially available tomato cages. These tomato cages are used to best advantage when you grow bush type tomatoes or determinate type tomato varieties in them. They work well because as the tomato grows, the branches will droop over the different rungs on the cage, and since the bush type or determinate type tomatoes don't get very tall, these not only serve to contain the plants, but they keep the fruit from making contact with the ground. Sometimes you'll see these made out of field fence material, which work great. But if you grow indeterminate type tomatoes in these, the plants grow so tall that they eventually come over the top of the cage and droop down the sides, and sometimes you end up with a broken tomato cage. I grow mostly indeterminate type tomatoes. I don't know why I prefer them. I like to have tomatoes available for a longer period of time, I guess. So my main use for these tomato cages is I grow squash, a zucchini or yellow crooknet. I keep training them to come up through the center. The branches droop off, and it makes it much easier to find your squash because simply it's just hanging. So it's not laying right on the ground. All right, let's go look at a trellis. A tomato trellis can be something as simple as this prefabbed cattle panel here. This case, this cattle panel is bowed over and making a small arbor. The wife's using this to grow cantaloupe on. They'll come up and they'll grow over the top. But I prefer to make my tomato trellises, and I grow tomatoes up a rope. Let's show you what that's all about. The materials I'll need for today's project are 6 8-foot T-posts. I like to use the T-posts because not only are they readily available, but they're extremely durable, and of course they can be pulled and moved to another location if you need be. And the other material is nylon baling twine. I like using the nylon twine because of several reasons. One, it will not stretch. It is very soft. It will not abrade the plants. It's extremely durable, and it is low cost. You can get miles of this stuff for basically no money. The tools I'll need to do this project today are a T-post driver. Okay, I'm of course standing shading it, and a pocket knife. Need a pocket knife to cut the twine. Alright, let's get going. My plastic is already down, as you've seen in earlier videos. So I've got this piece of chipboard to stand on, so not only do I not rip holes in the plastic, but I don't compact the soil. I've gone ahead and put a mark every 6 feet where I need to set my posts. The end post, of course, will go in this hole here, and the post will be angled slightly outward because of the tension that's going to be pulled against it this way. It won't pull it back to plumb, but it gives it some flexibility. You can see the holes have been marked every 6 feet, and well, let me get going.
The radio was singing like some long forgotten lover. Another broken hearted country song. if you love, oh, you better learn to lose. And only when you lose have you known the face of love. And only when you let him go will you ever really know if he was yours. Just a fleeting moment. Oh, may the roads that you walk on be the ones that take
Now that the posts are set, we're going to take our baling twine, tie off at the top of one end, run it clear to the other end, disregarding the center post, and we're going to tie it off to the top of the far end. We're going to pull it tight before we do this, and we're going to take a couple of loops around the top of that post and run the line back and try to match the tension so neither line sags, and tie it off to the top of this post. Then we'll go back and either tie it to the post or loop it around the top of each post, keeping it level. Alright, let's get going on that.
It's a long street, and there's a lot of empty moments. They're not kidding when they say it's a lonely road. It's a sleepless night. It's the dark and it's the light. It's the sinking in your heart when you know it's over. But it's alright. It's alright now, I'll be fine. Maybe someday I will understand why. May the roads that you walk on be the ones that take you home.
Now that we have our top line in place, and I might say pretty taut, we're going to come in from the end post 1 foot. It should be in here somewhere, and we'll run a drop line. The drop line goes from the top line to the ground, and in some cases you fix it to the ground. You don't really need to. I leave enough to where if I need to I can fix it to the ground or just loosely tie it to the bottom of the tomato plant. Okay, as the plant grows, the plant is wound up around the twine, and that's how it grows.
You don't have to compromise. No, 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 no.
Now the trellis is finished. Every 2 feet we have put a drop line. The tomatoes will be spaced 2 foot apart. You can get away with that in indeterminate varieties if you trellis them and you prune them. Not anywhere near being ready to do a pruning video yet. We're still a month away from trying to plant tomatoes outside here. So look forward to that in a future video. I'll show in depth how to prune an indeterminate tomato plant and at that time explain why that's the best practice to use. Yeah, simple, easy. I've spent, along with making the videos, I've probably put 2.5, 3 hours into this project today. That'll give me more tomatoes than my family can eat, and I'll be able to can a few. Just as a side note, I wanted to show you that bees are quite busy. There's pear trees, you know, the ornamental pear trees, and a few fruit trees in full bloom. So the girls are happy, and they're rapidly expanding their hive. This should be hopefully a good honey year at my home. Once again, thanks for watching.